Rahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I hope you all are in good health. I am Sadia Hamid from Army Bernal College for Girls and I welcome you all in the first chemistry online lecture of second year. Dear students, you are familiar with the current situation. Due to this situation, we have to take your online classes. Your chemistry online classes are starting today and I hope you all cooperate and will respond well. Dear students, first of all, I would like to discuss the content of your textbook. Your textbook contains 12 chapters. These chapters are divided into two portions. First portion contains chapter number 13, 14 in organic chemistry and chapter number 21 to 24 which are general chemistry chapters. All these chapters are included in one section, while second section or second portion contain chapter number 15 to 20. These are organic chapters. First, we will start your organic portion and today we are going to discuss chapter number 15, organic compounds. Organic chemistry is a highly creative science in which chemists create new molecules and explore the property of existing compounds. Dear students, basically this subject is a sea of knowledge, full of excitement and joy, a path to various new compounds and technologies, and finally a way to make our life simple and comfortable. Today we are going to discuss about introduction of organic compounds, sources of organic compounds, partial and total synthesis, fermentation, destructive distillation of coal, different property and uses of organic compounds. At the end of this chapter, you will be able to differentiate between organic and inorganic compounds, their sources, properties and uses of organic compounds in daily life. You will be able to know about the functional group and their importance. Introduction. You all know about chemical compounds. Dear students, you are familiar with the so many chemical compounds. What do you think about water? Is water a chemical compound? What do you know about methane, CH4, glucose, C6H12O6? Are these chemical compounds? Yes, these are chemical compounds. Chemical compounds compose of molecule consisting of atom of two or more chemical elements held together by chemical bond. For example, methane, water, table salt, sodium chloride and glucose. All these are chemical compounds. Chemical compounds are divided into two categories: organic compounds and inorganic compounds. This classification is based on the type of their origin. Organic compounds are plant and animal in origin. For example, carbohydrates, protein, fats, vitamins. While inorganic compounds are rock and mineral in origin. For example, table salt, marble, carbon dioxide. Dear students, it was an old concept that all the organic compounds are isolated only from natural source. It cannot be synthesized in the lab. Before 1828, it was thought that organic compounds cannot be prepared outside the body of living organism. They thought that certain supernatural force called vital force is necessary for synthesis of organic compound. This was called vital force theory. But after 1828, a German chemist, Friedrich Hohler, synthesized urea. Urea is an organic compound found in the urine of living organisms. Hohler synthesized urea by heating inorganic ammonium cyanate. Hohler experiments were followed by many other scientists. They synthesized large number of organic compounds in a lab from inorganic source. Thus, vital theory was rejected, or major part of all the organic compounds. All the organic compounds contain at least one carbon atom. Carbon are covalently linked to atom of other element, most commonly hydrogen, oxygen or nitrogen. So organic compounds are hydrocarbons, carbon and hydrogen containing compound. The few carbons containing compounds are not classified as organic. For example, carbides, carbonates, carbon disulfides. Although all these compounds have carbon, but due to their properties, these are not included in organic categories. Organic compounds have some special properties, which we will discuss later. So, modern definition of organic chemistry is study of hydrocarbons and their derivatives. For example, methane, CH4, ethylene, CH2 double bond CH2, acetylene, C2H2 and methanol. These are hydrocarbons and organic compounds. All organic compounds at one time came from plant and animal. Most of our most important substances are still derived from these sources directly or indirectly. For example, carbohydrates, protein, fats, vitamins and alkaloids. Alkaloids are the special class of organic compounds which contain basically nitrogen atom. For example, morphine and quinine. Another bigger source of organic compounds are fossil fuel, coal, petroleum and natural gas. These are known as fossil fuel. Fossils are the dead remain parts of plant and animal. Coal. Coal is the biggest source of organic compound. Coal is produced by the decaying of trees buried under the earth crust under the influence of temperature and pressure. These trees got converted into coal. When coal is heated at a very high temperature, in the absence of air, these coal produce different products. For example, coke and coal tar. This process is known as destructive distillation. On destructive distillation of coal, we produce coke and coal tar. More than 200 organic compounds have been directly isolated from these coal tar. These coal tar products from the starting material for the manufacture of thousands of useful aromatic compounds including perfumes, dyes and drugs. Petroleum. Petroleum is also a mixture of hydrocarbons. Petroleum is used as a fuel to power vehicles, heating units and machine, as well as it can be converted into plastic and other materials. Petroleum is a liquid mixture of hydrocarbons and refined to produce fuel including gasoline, paraffin and diesel oil. Gasoline is the mixtures of different hydrocarbons, that is straight chain alkane, branch chain alkane, cycloalkane, alkene and small amount of aromatic compounds. Most of these compounds have between 4 to 12 carbon atoms per molecule. The main components are isooctane, butane and 3-ethyltoluene. Some other byproduct is also obtained from petroleum. Natural gas. Natural gas is the mixture of hydrocarbon. Major portion of natural gas is methane, CH4. Other gases include ethane, propane and butane. It is formed by the decomposition of organic matter. And these products are also used for the synthesis of rubber and plastic. Products which we obtain from petroleum are methane, ethylene, acetylene, propene, benzene, toluene, xylene. These are the byproduct which is obtained from petroleum. The major product of petroleum is isooctane, butane and 3-ethyltoluene. Organic compounds obtained from living or non-living source in laboratory are called synthetic organic compounds. Dear students, what do you know about synthesis? What is synthesis? Synthesis is the production of chemical compounds by chemical reaction from simpler material. Organic compounds can be synthesized either through partial synthesis or total synthesis. Partial synthesis is the type of chemical synthesis that use chemical compound isolated from natural source. For example, synthesis of rubber. If we synthesize rubber in the lab, we obtain starting raw material isolated from natural source like plant. Different chemical reaction act upon these raw material and it is converted into rubber. This is a partial synthesis. That our starting materials come from natural source. But total synthesis is a complete chemical synthesis of a complex molecule from simple commercially available precursor. Precursor means starting material. Starting material is a very simple and commercially available. Both processes are used to create a product. The difference between partial and total synthesis is starting material. For partial synthesis, the process starts with complex molecule that is usually derived from natural source such as plant and animal. While total synthesis is a complete process that starts with the simple available starting material. For example, by obtaining carboxylic acid, acetic acid directly from aldehyde. By the oxidation of aldehyde, we obtain carboxylic acid. It is a partial synthesis. While by obtaining carboxylic acid through different steps or many steps by the oxidation of alkane, it is a complete synthesis. C2H6 is alkane. When alkane is oxidized, it is converted into ethanol, C2H5OH. When this ethanol is oxidized, it is converted into aldehyde CH3CHO. When this aldehyde is oxidized, it is converted into acetic acid. This is a complete synthesis. So complete synthesis when carboxylic acid can be obtained by the oxidation of alkane through many steps. While in partial synthesis, we obtaining carboxylic acid directly from aldehyde. And this aldehyde is isolated or synthesized from the raw material which is obtained from natural source rather than methanol or alkane. Fermentation. Fermentation is a process in which a substance breaks down into simpler substance by the help of microorganisms like yeast and bacteria. Dear students, yeast and bacteria play an important role in the fermentation process to creating a useful product like yogurt, beer, wine and other foods. There are two types of fermentation. Ethanol fermentation, when yeast convert carbohydrate into ethanol. This is known as ethanol fermentation. Lactic acid fermentation, when bacteria convert carbohydrate into lactic acid. This is lactic acid fermentation. Destructive distillation of coal. We have already discussed that coal is produced by the decaying of tree. So when this coal is heated in the absence of air at a very high temperature, it is converted into coke, coal gas and coal tar. Coal tar contain a large number of compounds which separate out on a fractional distillation. So destructive distillation is a process in which a solid material is heated at a very high temperature, while fractional distillation is a process in which components are separate on the basis of their boiling point, because each components have their own boiling point. So on the basis of these boiling point, we can separate from one component to another component. Destructive distillation of coal obtain crude coal gas, which is also a mixture of hydrocarbons. Crude coal gas is used in lighting and also used for heating. Crude coal gas is also a mixture of different hydrocarbon. Benzol. Benzol is used as a motor fuel. Coal gas is a mixture of gases like methane, CH4. It is used for lighting and heating. Cyanides. Cyanide are used in making paper, plastic and rubber. Sulfur compounds are also used in different dyes and drugs. Ammoniacal liquor. Ammoniacal liquor is used in manufacture of pharmaceuticals. Coal tar. Coal tar is a thick, dark liquid. It has both medical and industrial uses. And about 200 organic compounds are directly isolated from these coal tar. Coke. Coke is an important industrial product and mainly it is used in iron ore smelting and also used as a fuel. Carbon gas. Carbon gas is a good conductor of heat, so it is used in the battery plates. Coal tar is a major product which we obtain from destructive distillation of coal. Coal tar is a mixture of different hydrocarbons. These hydrocarbons are separated to each other by the means of fractional distillation. Fractional distillation is a process in which we can separate one component of a mixture to another on the basis of their boiling point. Coal tar is the mixture of different hydrocarbons. These hydrocarbons have their own boiling point. So on the basis of these boiling point, you can separate one component to other. Dear student, here I mention one thing, that flow chart of destructive distillation given in your book have an error or mistake. The line from fractional distillation lead to coal, but it should be connected to coal tar because these products, benzol, toluene, xylene, naphthalene, phenol, many other compounds, these are the fractional distillation products of coal tar. So please make a correction. Fractional distillation product obtained from coal tar are benzol, used as a motor fuel, toluene and xylene are aromatic compounds and used as a solvent. Naphthalene is polycyclic hydrocarbon used as insecticides, and it is also used in dyes and resins. Phenol are widely used in household product, and it is also used as disinfectant. Phenol is also first surgical antiseptic, and so many other compounds are obtained by fractional distillation of coal tar. What are the properties of organic compounds which differentiate them from inorganic compounds? Dear students, organic compounds have some different properties from inorganic compounds. Some of these properties are described here. Composition. All the organic compounds contain carbon is a major element. Combustion. Organic compound with high percentage of carbons are combustible in nature. Melting and boiling point. Organic compounds have very weak force of attraction between them. So they have very low melting and boiling point. And due to these properties, most of the organic compounds are volatile in nature. Dear students, what is melting point? Melting point is a temperature at which a given solid will melt, or a temperature at which material changes from solid to a liquid. Boiling point is a temperature at which a material changes from liquid to gas. Organic compounds have weak forces, so they have low melting and boiling point. Acetone is an organic compound. It is volatile in nature as compared to water, which is inorganic in nature and have a very strong hydrogen bond. Solubility. Organic compounds with non-polar in nature are soluble in non-polar solvent like alcohol, ether and benzene. Most of the organic compounds are less soluble in water. Some of organic compounds which make hydrogen bond with water can easily dissolve in water like glucose. Here phenomena use dissolve like dissolve. Polar compounds are dissolved in polar solvent while non-polar compounds are dissolved in non-polar solvent. Organic compounds are non-polar in nature as compared to inorganic one. So these are Soluble in nonpolar solvent. Stability. Organic compounds are more stable as compared to inorganic compounds. If we take the example of alkane, which contains strong covalent bond, sigma bond, a large amount of energy is required to break these bonds. So small molecules are easily decomposed, while the larger ones are decomposed at a very high temperature. Electrical conductivity. Due to covalent bond or nonpolar in nature, all the organic compounds are poor or bad conductor of electricity both in fused state and solution form. Source. Most of organic compounds are obtained from plants and animal sources. But nowadays, a number of organic compounds can be synthesized in a lab from inorganic source as well. Rate of reaction. Organic compounds are more stable, so their rate of reaction is very slow and needs specific conditions. Uses of organic compounds. Organic compounds are all around us. There are many more wide range and variety of uses and application of organic compounds. Most of the compounds that make up your body, your skin, your hair, food and drink you consume, the enzyme, protein, hormones in our body, all these are organic in nature. Essentially, all the medicines you need and take, and the chemicals used to control the pest of the world. All the pesticides, all the herbicides, all the insecticides, all the plastics, solvent, your toothpaste that you use every day, and even your car seats are all organic in nature. Your daily life is due to organic chemistry. So you should instead ask where organic chemistry is not used. Some of the uses of organic compounds are listed here. Food, carbohydrates, protein, fats, vitamins. These are organic compounds. Clothing you wear, composed of silk, cotton, wool, all these are organic in nature. Shelter, our houses made from different things, that is wood. Wood is an organic in nature. Paint that use in our house are also organic in nature. Power, the fuels that is used, petroleum, methane, are organic compound. Medicine you take are organic in nature. Drugs are also organic in nature. Insecticides. Insecticides are chemicals which are used to kill the insects. Most common insecticides which are used is DDT, which are organic in nature. Hormones, vitamins, enzymes, these are also organic in nature. Antiseptic. Antiseptic is a chemical which is used to preventing the growth of disease causing microorganism. And anesthetic. These are organic in nature. Anesthetics are medicine that render a patient unconscious in order to allow surgeon to operate on that patient. General anesthesia puts you in a sleep-like state before a surgery or other medical procedure. Under anesthesia, you don't feel pain because you are completely unconscious. Pigments, dyes that use in paint are organic in nature. Paper and ink are also organic in nature. Perfumes, plastic, explosive, propellant, soap, detergent are also organic in nature. Herbicides are organic in nature. Herbicide is a chemical which is used to kill unwanted plant from your field. It is a weed killer. Rubber, photographic film. These are also organic in nature. Most common insecticide that is organic in nature is DDT, dichloro-diphenyl trichloroethane. Dear students, take another correction. There is also an mistake in the example given with herbicides in your textbook. It is not a Teflon because Teflon is polytetrafluoroethylene. Teflon is best used for it in coating non-stick cookware to prevent food from sticking. It is also used in nail polish and hairstyle tools. But Teflon is not an herbicide. The common herbicide which is used in Triflan. Triflan is one of the several brand names for the chemical herbicides which contain trifluralin. The structures of trifluralin are given here. These are some quiz related to topic which we have discussed today. You all have to try it first. We will discuss the solution of these quiz on next lecture. And dear students, make a correction in second quiz. Here it is enlist. ENLIST, enlist, not enlist. So make a correction, please. Thank you. Have a nice day.